Hey, what's up, student group family? Hey guys, so we can't meet for student group here physically because of, well, the blizzard, you know.
As in, like, DQ blizzard? What do you
No,
mean?
I'm sorry. No, guys, we can't meet because of the coronavirus. Hey, and it sucks. But hey, guys, just because we can't meet physically, we still want to be able to have student group service with you online. We want to be able to do that through Instagram and through YouTube and Instagram TV. Hey, so guys, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna have service. Joe's gonna have some songs ready for us. I'm gonna teach. We're gonna be posting stuff throughout the week. Look for Cody TV episodes. Look for some stuff that we're gonna be doing on Instagram and Facebook. And guys, we're gonna get started with this thing. So let me give you a digital high five, and we're gonna get out of here. Joe, hit me with the sauce.
All right, got you, buddy.
All right.
Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You have been so kind to me. Holy, overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm about to leave the 99, and I couldn't earn it. I don't deserve it. Still you give yourself away. Holy, overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Yeah. I was your foe, still your love fought for me. You have been so good to me. I felt no worth, you paid it all for me. You have been so kind to me. Holy, overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm about to leave the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it. Still you give yourself away. Holy, overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Yeah. No shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. Snow wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you
Hey, what's up, student group family? Hey guys, as you may have caught, we are going to be having student group online through our social media platforms, through Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And guys, we want you to still be a part of that. So guys, what we're going to do, we're still going to try to put out content every week. We're going to put out Cody TV episodes. We're going to have some worship videos going up, and I'm still going to be teaching. And we're going to encourage you to have groups through digital means, through group messages, through Instagram talks, and just everything like that. So guys, hey, this week we're actually going to go through a message in week 3 of our series, No Perfect People Allowed. And guys, what we've been doing, we've been looking at the fact that the church, God's family, this body of people, is made up of countless members who are not perfect. We know that every week and every day there are middle school and high school students and adults who struggle with this idea that they have flaws that tear them down, that just bury them in anxiety, and that they struggle with. And guys, we want to encourage you that God doesn't expect you to be perfect, but that God expects you to be real with Him, that God wants you to really pursue Him and have a real relationship with Him. So over the coming weeks, over the weeks of the series, we've been looking at characters and people in the Bible that were imperfect, that so far we've looked at characters who had flaws, who had missteps, and characters who were not perfect. This week we're going to look at the person of Elijah in the Old Testament. Elijah's a prophet in the Bible. So Elijah's this prophet, and he encounters this king Ahab, and Ahab is not a follower of God. Ahab straight up disobeys the commands of the Lord and just disobeys God, okay? And Elijah comes to him, and he's mocking Elijah, saying, "You're a troublemaker of Israel." And Elijah says, no, you're the troublemaker of Israel. And he says, in fact, I want you to get your followers. I want you to get the followers of this false god Baal and the followers of this false god Asherah, and get Queen Jezebel, and get them all together, and we're going to have a throwdown. So here's what happens in 1 Kings chapter 18, verses 27 through 29. See, what they've done, they've piled up all this wood, and they've said, pray to your God to rain down fire so that the wood would be consumed, and that your God would hear you and do this thing. So here's what happens in this passage, in 1 Kings chapter 18, verses 27 through 29. About noontime, Elijah began mocking them because their God didn't do squat. Like that fire never came down, that the logs that they had there were dry as could be. Okay? You'll have to shout louder, Elijah scoffed, for surely he is a god. Perhaps he's daydreaming, or is relieving himself, or maybe he's away on a trip, or is asleep and needs to be wakened. So they shouted louder, and following their normal custom, they cut themselves with knives and swords until the blood gushed out. They raved all afternoon until the time of evening sacrifice, but still there was no sound, no reply, no response. Okay, so these people, they've just cried out to their gods for their gods to do something, and they've done these insane things. They've cut themselves to try and get their gods to hear them, and nothing. These false gods, these fake gods that they've chosen to worship and follow are doing nothing. But Elijah gets up, and Elijah doesn't just call on God to rain down fire. Elijah actually says, watch this, and he soaks his pile of logs in water. Okay, now I don't know about you if you've ever tried to start a fire, but usually you can't burn wet wood. It just doesn't work. So Elijah pours water on the wood that he's trying to get burnt. And people are like, what is he doing? And then Elijah calls out to God, and God rains down fire to consume the logs, to consume the wood. And this is what it says how the people responded. And when all the people saw it, they fell face down on the ground and cried out, "The Lord, He is God. Yes, the Lord is good." So Elijah's at this perfect point in life. Now, you may have experienced times in life where life has been so great, where it's been peaches, where life has been amazing, and you felt great. Okay? But you've probably also experienced times where life has not been so great, when you felt incredible stress and anxiety. And that's no different for Elijah. Let's read this. This is 1 Kings chapter 19, verses 1 through 2. When Ahab, the evil king, got home, he told Jezebel everything Elijah had done, including the way he had killed all the prophets of Baal. So Jezebel sent this message to Elijah: "May the gods strike me and even kill me if by this time tomorrow I have not killed you, just as you have killed them." Now, Elijah, who's just had a great victory, who's been an incredible follower of God and done this amazing thing, now has this threat on his life by Queen Jezebel. And I want you to understand his response. In 1 Kings chapter 19, verses 3 through 4, it says, Elijah was afraid and fled for his life. He went to Beersheba, a town in Judah, and left his servant there. Then he went on alone into the wilderness, traveling all day. He sat down under a solitary broom tree and prayed that he might die. I have had enough, Lord, he said. Take my life, for I am no better than my ancestors who have already died. Okay, Elijah at this point has had great victories. He's had great success. He's had incredible celebration in life. But he's also felt incredible anxiety. I know for so many of us that we have had great times in life. We have incredible days surrounded by amazing people. But we've also had days where we feel incredible anxiety. And we feel great stress. And we feel depression and just a struggle through each day like we've never known before. And I want to encourage you that that does not disqualify you from following Jesus. That anxiety and stress and depression, that those things are things that Christians experience just the same as anyone else. I want you to see what happens next in the scriptures. In 1 Kings chapter 19, verses 5 through 8, it says, Then he, Elijah, lay down and slept under the broom tree. But as he was sleeping, an angel touched him and told him, Get up and eat. He looked around, and there beside his head was some bread baked on hot stones and a jar of water. So he ate and drank and lay down again. Then the angel of the Lord came again and touched him and said, Get up and eat some more, or the journey ahead will be too much for you. So he got up and ate and drank, and the food gave him enough strength to travel 40 days and 40 nights to Mount Sinai, the mountain of God. I want you to understand right now that you may be watching this, and you may have had an incredibly stressful week. I know right now in this season, with everything that is going on in our world, with this crazy virus scare, with personal situations that each and every single one of us is facing, that each and every single one of us has immense anxiety that we feel. That you might be scared, that you might be feeling incredible stress. I know myself, I've even been impacted by stress and anxiety from just struggles in life within the last few weeks. But I want you to understand this. If you're struggling, that God hears you, that God is there for you, and that God is going to do everything he can to provide for you and take care of you. That's what we see here in the story of Elijah. Elijah is at the point of incredible anxiety, of incredible struggle, and yet he lays down under this tree, and God sends an angel to provide for him, to encourage him to consume food, to eat, to give him fuel, to carry on. And then Elijah then journeys 40 days and 40 nights to Mount Sinai, to this mountain of God that is so important to the people of God, to Israel, to God's followers, to God's family. Hey, the first thing I want you to know is that that with no perfect people allowed in God's family, that anxiety doesn't disqualify you from that, okay? But the first thing we want you to understand is this, that God wants you to know that your life has a purpose. That Elijah, we see this story in the Bible, that he feels incredible anxiety, but God has a mission for Elijah, that God was this prophet, this pastor of sorts, that took the message of God and what God could do to the people of Israel. That God gave Elijah a message to carry out, and for you, that God has given you a message to carry out, that God has given you the message of Jesus and his love, the gospel, to take out and to give to people who are struggling with hope, without hope, in hopelessness, despair, the people that are in darkness that need the light of Jesus. So I want to encourage you that God has a purpose for your life, that he wants you to know that. Okay, I want to encourage you with this. This is 2 verses from the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verses 6 through 7. It says, Don't fret or worry. Instead of worrying, pray. Let petitions and praises shape your worries into prayers. Let God know your concerns. Before you know it, a sense of God's wholeness, everything coming together for good, will come and settle you down. It's wonderful what happens when Christ displaces worry at the center of your life. That whatever you're feeling right now, whatever your stresses, your worries, your concerns are right now, that those can actually be turned into prayers to give over to God, to say, God, this is bearing down on me. This is weighing me down. Like, I'm struggling in life through this. But that you can take those concerns, those worries, those fears, and give them over to God and say, God, I'm scared of this. Please help me with it. I want to encourage you further with this. This is Jesus talking in John chapter 14, verse 27. He says, I'm leaving you with a gift. Now, Jesus is about to leave this place, leave earth, and he's speaking with his followers. And he says, I'm leaving you with a gift, peace of mind and heart. And the peace that I give you is a gift the world cannot give. So don't be troubled or afraid. That Jesus says, I can give you peace in the storm. I can give you peace and rest in the middle of your anxiety. And I can give you a type of peace that the world can't give you. I can give you a type of peace that you're never going to find in a relationship with a boyfriend or with a girlfriend. Jesus says, I can give you a peace and a comfort of mind that you're not going to find in achievements or success. But that the greatest peace that we could ever receive is the peace that we receive from Jesus. Then Jesus says in Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30, he says this, he says, come to me, all who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I'm humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light. These verses confirm and verify what we know to be true, that perfect rest comes only from Jesus. Guys, we know that even as middle school and high school students, that you feel incredible stress, incredible anxiety, and you have so many things that stress you out every single day. We live in a world where we get to see just our world around us through our phones, through Instagram, through Snapchat, through TikTok. And sometimes when it seems like the rest of the world has it all together, it becomes an incredible burden when you feel like you don't. But I want you to understand, you're never going to find perfect rest or perfect peace scrolling through an Instagram feed. You're never going to find complete joy on TikTok. As funny as some of those may be, the only way you're going to find perfect peace and rest from anxiety and from the struggle of life, from stress, is through a relationship with Jesus. But I also want to encourage you that you can win this battle against anxiety, against stress, against depression even. That these things don't have to overcome you, okay? That you can get a victory here. But that victory is only going to come through Jesus. And that you're fighting against something. You're fighting against someone, in fact, and that person is the devil. That Satan wants to see you struggle with your depression, with your anxiety, with your stress, and he wants to see you crumble. The devil, in fact, he's going to use tricky things to keep you from finding perfect peace. In fact, one of the things we want you to understand is this. The devil wants to keep you busy. The devil wants to keep you busy. Satan thinks if he can keep you busy and ignoring your own health and ignoring finding a relationship with Jesus, that you're going to fall apart. He knows that if he can keep your mind just running, and you ignore your relationship with Jesus, that you're eventually going to fall, that you're eventually going to crumble under the weight of life. If he can keep you busy, he can keep you alone, and he can keep you isolated. And we want you to understand this. Right now is a crazy time in the world. And if you try to deal with those things alone, if you try to deal with those things by yourself and not talk to somebody, you're going to fall. There's so much going on in our world and so much stress for each of us that if you try to go this life alone, you're going to fall apart. We want to encourage you that perfect rest does come from Jesus, and that rest and peace are enhanced in community. There's a reason we have student group every week, that we have this platform that we're on right now to communicate with you. It's because we believe we have the greatest message of hope that's ever been shared, and that's the message of Jesus. And the fact that you don't have to be perfect, that I don't have to be perfect, that each and every single one of us, we're going to make mistakes. And that we're going to feel stress, we're going to feel worry, we're going to feel anxiety. But so did the earliest followers of Jesus. So did the prophet Elijah. And that's okay. But we want to encourage you that Jesus gives us the greatest peace. And he's given you an incredible family and an incredible team. And that is the church to be a part of. That being a part of God's family means that you have access to countless brothers and sisters in Christ who want to be with you through your tough seasons and through your storms. And we want to encourage you that student group is just that. That this family exists so that when you're going through a storm, that you can shoot a message to somebody, that you can give a call or send a text message, and that you will find encouragement and you will find someone there for you. Guys, we want to encourage you right now that as we don't have group at our physical location, that our leaders are readily available, that here on our student Instagram accounts and our student Facebook accounts and all these things, that we're just a message away. That if you're feeling anxiety, that if you're feeling stress right now, we want to encourage you to reach out. Please, it's not an embarrassing conversation. Every single leader that is in our group has felt stress, anxiety, and dealt with problems in life. And we want to encourage you to not be afraid to have those conversations, to reach out, to talk to one of us, and to allow us to share the message of hope with you, and to go through this journey with you. Guys, we love you so much, and we're praying for you over the next week. Guys, keep your eyes locked here over the next week, just as we put things out, and as we still get to celebrate life just through here on social media, and as we use this thing for incredible good. Guys, we'll see you next time.